Alrighty, everybody. Galakrond'S Fall, Dawn of the Infinite Dungeon Guide featuring Dratnos. Wait, what?
My name is Dratnos, and in today's video, we're going to take a look at Galakrond'S Fall.
Why am I getting a guide on Galakrond'S Fall? Bro, World of Warcraft, you're like 10 months late, bro. I'll beat this dungeon on every difficulty. I know it's coming to Mythics now, but Mythic Keys, but still.
The two wings
Nothing
of Dawn of the
changes.
Infinite that's available in Mythic Plus in Season 3. We have footage today from this year's BlizzCon Guild Clash, featuring teams Echo and Golden Guardians. Galakrond'S Fall starts out with some challenging pulls. You can absolutely skip some of this section with Shroud of Concealment like Echo did. If you do try to fight it, maybe take it a little smaller than Golden Guardians and don't fight everything all at once. Move out of Time Rip from the Epoch Rippers, and use stuns or other disrupting effects to stop Time Slicers from channeling Tempo Slice. Chronikar has a few tricky mechanics. Try to spread near the edges of the room when the boss casts Sand Stomp to avoid polluting too much of the arena. And make sure to dodge both the initial hit and the projectiles spawned by each Eon Shatter jump. Then make sure to have someone dance back into the area to catch the falling Eon residue. Aside from these group mechanics, the tank and healer need to work together to handle Chrono Shear, which applies a healing absorb and a massive damage taken increase that can't be dispelled until the healing absorb is gone.
Nothing's
Use
new!
defensives and spot healing to survive and get the healing absorb off, and then land the dispel to stabilize the tank. The next area has a lot of trash and many different mechanics that require dispels, so don't pull too many enemies at once to avoid getting overwhelmed.
Yeah, this part gets really hectic.
Make sure to kick infinite
After
bullet
this, it's
volley
really
for
easy.
less time, and watch your feet because there's a lot to dodge.
This is like the only difficult part of the dungeon.
The Manifested
In my opinion.
Timeways is a very challenging boss. The ground will get sliced into 4 pieces, 2 darker decaying time zones, and 2 lighter accelerating time zones. These slices will shift clockwise around the boss, meaning in general if you need to get to the other colored zone, you should run counterclockwise rather than trying to chase it clockwise. During the Fragments of Time bullet hell, it's easiest to dodge inside the slow decaying time zone, and look for a gap created where bullets change zones. The boss will also debuff 2 players with Chrono Faded. This dot is quite nasty, and when it's dispelled, it creates an expanding ring that deals damage. This ring expands very quickly if it's dispelled in an accelerating time zone, but very slowly if it's dispelled in a decaying time zone. So try to quickly dispel one of these in an accelerating time zone, and then use heals and externals on the other target until the debuff expires, again ideally in an accelerating time zone.
Which these guys didn't do.
After this boss is a nasty Infinite Infiltrator mini-boss that you should pop CDs to kill. Or, if you can get your group to mount up and move together, it's possible to skip right past it.
You shall not interfere with our infinite.
That's okay. I got that. I didn't
The
know.
next area
I'll
is
learn.
again very dangerous. Risen Dragons are a huge threat due to their pulsing necrotic outburst, so pull only 1 or 2 at a time, and use cooldowns if you're fighting more than 1. The Blight of Galakrond encounter revolves around the corrosion mechanic, a dot that mind controls the target on expiration. It can be transferred by walking on top of a different player, which resets the timer but does a sizable chunk of damage. Aim to get this debuff onto the tank, and then the Blight Reclamation frontal will clear it. As you deal more damage to the boss, it will infect and reanimate various proto-drakes around the room, adding more stuff to dodge, like Necrotic Winds, and stuff to kill, like Necrofrost. But the most important thing to focus on is juggling the corrosion so it never expires, and it's on the tank when Blight Reclamation is happening. The final area of the dungeon is full of the Epoch Rippers and Time Slicers from the start of the dungeon, plus Iridikron's creations, which just need to be interrupted on Stonebolt if possible. Iridikron the Stone Scaled is an epic end boss of this dungeon, and you'll need Chromie's help to stop him. Extinction Blast needs to be taken to Chromie for protection, while the rest of the group dodges out of the way. This is followed by Stonecracker Barrage, where you'll need to have most of the group in the big soak with Chromie, and the tank alone in the smaller soak in front. Heal up Chromie afterwards, and then dodge the Earth Surge lines until you can break through the shield on a boss. Dodge out of the pulverizing exhalation frontal, which also makes the area underneath the boss unsafe, and then interrupt and kill the adds it spawns. Once you get the boss to 90%, he begins casting Cataclysmic Obliteration. This is the final burn of the fight. Get inside Chromie's timeline transcendence to have a chance of victory and use everything you have left. We hope you've enjoyed this guide to Galakrond'S Fall. Be sure to subscribe.
I liked
for
the
more
video. That was
content,
pretty simple and
and
sweet.
try not to irrevocably
I liked
change
it.
any timelines today.
I learned a couple
Thanks for
things, to be
watching,
honest.
and we'll see you in the Emerald.
Kind of glad I watched it. I learned like a couple trash pull things. Nothing with the bosses, but little trash pull vibes for the mythic keys. But I'll catch you guys and see you in 3.